Hi and welcome to Just the Job, the show that takes you behind the scenes of some fantastic career opportunities. Now this week, we've got 3 more great careers lined up for you, and you never know, one of them could be just the job for you. In today's show, Jack experiences 3 different occupations with specialist tree maintenance company Treescape, starting with the career of an arborist. Then he'll be checking out what it takes to be a utility arborist, a highly skilled and specialised area within the tree maintenance industry. And in our final segment, Jack is pretty happy to be amongst the big boys' toys as he finds out about land clearing and the environmental roles that are also career paths with Treescape. So let's get started and catch up with Jack as he begins to take a look at this specialised industry, starting with the career of an arborist.
Hi, I'm Jack. I'm 18 years old and I'd like to find out what career opportunities Treescape can offer me.
The CEO of Treescape, Ed Chignall, will point Jack in the right direction.
G'day Jack, good to meet you. Come on through.
Sweet. So what does Treescape do?
Treescape's an arboriculture company. We look after trees for people, residential clients, for commercial clients, for local councils. We look after all the parks and street trees for some of the councils around New Zealand. We do a lot of land clearing work for developments when they're putting in new properties. We also have a restoration division where we're doing replantings of native species back into areas that need to be restored.
Arboriculture can be dangerous work. So before Jack can even look at a tree, he does a 2-day health and safety course with arboriculture guru, Martin Herbert.
What sort of hazards do you think you've got using a chainsaw?
After Jack has completed the theory, it's time for some training in the field. There are over 400 skilled people working for Treescape in a variety of exciting and challenging careers across the country. It's interesting because the nature of the work means you're not on a job for more than 2 or 3 days before you move on to the next. And today, Jack will get some one-on-one training with arborist Lawrence Schicker.
Okay, Jack, we've got to come into this park and look for storm damage. We've had quite a bit of nasty weather lately.
Okay.
Being an arborist, you're going to need to have a good knowledge of trees.
Yep.
Here we've got the Lophostemen confertus, which is an Australian box.
Okay.
A eucalyptus.
Yep.
A Moreton Bay fig. And a poplar, which is from Europe.
Sorry.
Okay, it might be a bit daunting at first, but everything's got a botanical name.
Yep.
It's sort of like Ford Falcon.
Okay.
Okay? So, yeah, don't freak out on that. It's all good.
Why do you need to know the names of the species?
Different trees have different pruning requirements. We have to learn how to do proper pruning cuts that enhance the tree's defence mechanisms and not work against the tree.
Okay.
Okay, I've just noticed a torn limb over there. I think the tree is a swamp cypress. That's from North America.
Okay.
Can you see that limb? That poses a hazard to the public if that comes down.
Yeah. It's just hanging there.
That's the one. We might have to look at removing that. First thing you've got is your climbing harness. You've got an array of carabiners. On here we have a climbing hitch. We'll have to teach you a few nights before you get up there. We have your climbing line or your lifeline. Then we'll be using the top-handled chainsaw. Okay, now we've got to try and get you up that tree. We've got to install our rope. So we have to make our what we call our monkey's fist. It allows us to throw the rope up from the ground and maybe an overhand throw and just visualise it. Shot, brother. We in?
Yep.
Well done. We have to put our climbing hitch onto the rope. Sit in your harness.
This climbing hitch knot grips the rope it is wrapped around when under the weight of Jack's body, but it moves freely when his weight is released, allowing Jack to manoeuvre his way up the tree.
That's good. Go for it, brother. She's all yours. I hope you're not afraid of heights, mate.
But Jack won't be alone up the tree. Lawrence climbs up to give him some advice.
Now we have to remove the sub-branch here, so we have to do an undercut for a start to prevent any tearing, and then a top cut. Nice shot. We have to identify like a branch collar. It's good for the old arm muscles, mate. That's it. You've got to make sure you've had your wheat bix for breakfast, buddy. Hey? Just don't pull it, just let the saw do the work.
So, Lawrence, what do you enjoy about your job?
Oh, it's a good physical job. Okay, you don't have to go to the gym when you're an arborist. You're getting all your training on site. There's really good camaraderie. It's mates looking after mates to make sure we're working all safe. And you feel proud in what you've achieved each day.
To remove the larger hazardous branch, Jack will need something a little more powerful than a pruning saw.
Just reach out a little bit and do an undercut. A little bit further out would be good. Awesome. A little bit more, mate. That's fine. Do your top cut just inside that cut that you've done. Just back this side, Jack, of it. There you go. Well done. How was that?
All good?
A little bit freaky?
Yeah.
Well done, brother. Well done.
This final cut is the most important. If he doesn't do it right, a big wound like this could cause more damage to the tree in the future.
100%. How do you feel about that, mate?
Well, that was cool, eh?
And a good finished product.
So what type of school subjects would be useful in arboriculture?
You need a basic grasp for the English language. You might be interested in a bit of biology or some of the sciences.
And when does the science part come into it?
Well, basically, when you want to become a qualified arborist, you'll learn more about tree health and tree biology. You'll do block courses to get your certificate or your diploma in arboriculture. You start looking at things a bit more in depth.
Okay.
And that's the difference basically between just any old tree cutter and a qualified arborist.
Now Jack has finished pruning, they use the chipper to tidy up.
So how was that, mate?
Oh, it was really good. I really enjoyed it, the climbing, and yeah, it was just cool. It's something I want to get into.
To be an arborist, you need to be physically fit, not be afraid of heights, and enjoy working outside. A level 4 arboriculture qualification is the minimum required to be a recognised arborist. There are two main ways to get this qualification. Treescape will pay for all your training while working, which usually takes about 2 years to complete, or studying 1 year full-time at Otago Polytechnic or Waikato Institute of Technology. After the break, we'll see how Jack goes when he checks out a career as a utility arborist. See you soon. Jack is checking out the variety of career opportunities at Treescape, one of the largest arboriculture companies in New Zealand. And today, he wants to find out what it means to be a utility arborist with Wade Cumming.
You must be Jack.
Yes.
G'day, I'm Wade. Let's go have a look at the trucks.
Okay.
We're just going to go have a look at our EWP. What that stands for is Elevated Work Platform.
Okay.
Okay, we just want to make sure that structurally and mechanically it's safe to use, okay?
A utility arborist prunes trees around power lines in two ways, by climbing the tree manually or by using an elevated work platform.
So we've got welds that we need to inspect, make sure they're not cracked and they're not going to fail on us, okay?
Jack will be operating this platform in the field, and now he knows it's safe, he'll need to get comfortable operating it.
White knuckles, holding on tight.
So Wade, what's the difference between a utility arborist and a normal arborist?
Well, basically a utility arborist has to keep the power network clear. So we have to make sure no trees are touching the lines and that the public safety is taken care of, and also guarantee power supply to customers out there.
Each crew of utility arborists has a manager like Wade, who is responsible for identifying the trees that need to be cut along a particular stretch of power lines. So it's time to hit the road and check Wade's area for hazards.
What are we working with here? What are these?
You talking about the power lines?
Yeah.
Yep. I mean, there's a range of voltages and hardware. As a utility arborist, you'll get to know those like the back of your hand.
Yeah.
You have to make sure you follow procedures so as you don't become a victim
Yeah.
working around these power lines, you know?
Don't want to get cooked.
No, don't want to get cooked.
All right, what we've got here, Jack, is a tree that's been hit by lightning.
Okay.
But basically what's happened is the lightning has come down the tree and it's actually jumped across into the power line here to earth out.
Okay.
And that's the thing with power, it's always trying to find its quickest way to earth, okay?
So does the weather make lots of work for you, or?
It does. We'll get called up at all hours of the night so to get out there and try and get people's power back on again, you know. Obviously we won't work in lightning storms, but you know, windy, wet conditions, you know, requires us to get out there. So it just puts a good spin on the job, really invigorating, you know.
Further down the road, Wade spots a dangerous row of trees that need some work.
We've got some dead trees, probably from canker, which is a disease. So right now they're higher than what the lines are, and in an easterly wind, they've got a potential to snap out and end up on the power lines.
This hedge line has multiple hazards, and Jack writes it up in a job sheet.
What we've got here is our procedure manual.
So what are these?
basically these are just a step-by-step instruction so we can do this job safely without getting hurt or killed.
The owners of this tree line are legally obligated to maintain it, so Wade will send notice to the landowners before work begins. But the owners of this row of trees have already agreed for work to start. So it's time for Jack to put his 2 days of health and safety training to the test in a real-world situation.
We've got 11,000 volt lines.
Yeah.
We've got 400 volt lines. They've grown right through and they're actually now burning, okay?
The tops of the 11.
That's right, you can see the brown marks on the very top, okay? That's about as bad as it gets. It's going to be a difficult job. The plan of attack is just to nuke everything. We want it all gone. We don't want to say that, do we? No. The crews, you do build up a good relationship between your foreman and yourself. Yeah, there can be you know, a lot of good banter and fun, you know. So you need, you know, guys that do get on with each other, you know, can talk things through, make good decisions together. Jack, now you're going to have a go. How do you feel about that?
Those 11 kV lines don't look too happy, but
Yeah,
I'm sure just if I can stay away from them.
that's right.
Feel good.
One thing to remember when you're up there, I mean, they're power lines. They don't look that dangerous at the moment, but they've got live voltage running through them, and they're just waiting to give someone a bite, okay? So you need to be really careful around them, all right?
Okay.
Before Jack gets into cutting, there's another tool he needs to know.
So what we have here, Jack, is one of the main tools we use in utility arboriculture. It's our insulated pole saw.
So that yellow bit's an insulator?
That's correct. It's a barrier between us and the power. Jack, just nice, smooth operation, eh? Let's come down on that upper boom. Nice and slow, take it easy. That's it, mate, just cut it a little smaller. Okay, just watch your head there, eh? Don't get too close to those lines, mate. You want to make sure you get home for a surf tonight, eh?
This is a huge job that will take the crew another day to complete. But it gave Jack a taste of how physically demanding the work really is.
How'd you find the pole saw?
Oh, it's not too bad, eh? It weighs quite a bit. It doesn't look like much, but when you're fully leaning out of the bucket, you can see that'd be pretty tiring doing that all day.
What about the power lines?
Oh yeah, that was just another thing. Just got to be really aware of where you are at all times. Like I didn't want to knock my head on that or get cooked, so.
Yeah, excellent. Well, I think you've done real well, Jack.
Thank you.
To enter a career as a utility arborist, you should be physically fit, not afraid of heights, and having some electrical knowledge is a benefit. You will first need basic arboriculture training, which usually takes between 1 to 2 years to complete. Then you will train towards a Level 2 National Certificate in Utility Arboriculture through the Electricity Supply Industry Training Organisation. This usually takes about 1 year to complete. Treescape will pay for all your training. That was pretty awesome, Jack, and nice job keeping away from all those power lines. Now you're thinking, what career might suit you? You probably have way more job skills than you actually realise. Go to knowyourskills.careers.govt.nz to find out more information. Now, after the break, we're with Jack again as he heads out to a development site which calls for some serious land clearing. Jack is checking out the variety of career opportunities at Treescape, the largest arboriculture company in New Zealand.
Morning, Jack.
Morning.
James from Treescape.
Nice to meet you.
I understand you want to step into the big world of land clearing?
Yes.
Excellent. Well, you need these.
Sweet.
And once you're set, we'll take off.
Okay. So what does the land clearing division do?
Well, like anything at Treescape, we're specialists in vegetation management. The land clearing division is just on a large scale. So we use 13 to 20 tonne diggers, large 19-inch chippers, and ideally we have a large site, which we try and clear as efficiently as possible and just at high volume.
Okay. And so what would you need to do to set up a job?
Well, my job as a project manager for land clearing is to liaise with the client and make sure that his expectations are met and carried out through the whole job. I organise the crews on site and make sure that everything gets completed in the time frame specified.
Jack will be working on this 40-hectare site in East Auckland today. But before work begins, the land clearing crew get together to create a master plan for the day.
Jack, I'm Rodney.
Pleased to meet you.
Site foreman today.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're going to be taking down these trees.
The tailgate meeting is about identifying the working hazards, and there are a few of them.
We've got fallen trees, uneven ground, slips and falls, vehicle movement. We'll also have the digger as well, which will be in. We'll have noise as well. Any other hazards you can see and notice? Or
The trees are dead?
up? Yep, exactly. And once they fell down, they'll smash and bits will be flying.
Because land clearing crews work in dangerous high-pressure environments, they need to be very experienced.
But yeah. He said he's just going to leave me that one.
So Jack will get some expert training from foreman Rodney Jardine on how to fell a tree.
Got our different features, our chain brake on it. And you know when you're starting it, it has to be in a solid position.
Yeah.
Most of the crew that you saw on site have been with us for years, and most have large experience either in forestry or with other machinery or within the company themselves. So quite often the process is they start in the residential and council divisions, like our trainee Jack would do, and work their way through to land clearing.
We'll do our scarf cut first.
Okay.
When you put the scarf, the direction the tree's weighted. So it's weighted to go out this way, so that's the way we want our scarf. And then come in and do your back cut.
Rodney, what's your job like?
My job's awesome, mate. I love it. Just felling trees, walk away, the digger comes in, cleans all up.
Big boys, eh?
That's the one, yep. Big gear.
So you never thought about having an office job?
An office job, no way. I love the outdoors. Yeah, I'm too young for an office job yet. Too fit.
That's the one.
Yep. Happy with that? Do your back cut now. Happy?
Yeah, that's cool.
Fancy a few more then?
Yeah.
Yep, let's go. Right, so we've done all the smaller ones. Now I've got this big one to do.
Okay.
See here, we've got a big bit of decay inside it. So in this case, we'll get the boom up against it just to assist with the fell and the direction that we want it to go.
Because the holding wood, which acts like a hinge when the tree is falling, is mostly rotten in this tree, it could suddenly fall unpredictably. So digger driver Wayne Palmer stops the tree from falling backwards, and if needed, will also give it a nudge in the right direction.
That was me.
So, yeah, bit of a crunch, eh?
I can see why you enjoy your job.
Yeah, no, it's good, especially big ones like that.
So what's next?
The digger will come in and stack it up ready for chipping.
Wayne Palmer is one of the most experienced digger operators in the country and gives Jack some expert training before he gives it a go himself.
Well, what's your job like?
Oh, it's good, mate, you know. There's nothing like sitting in this cab with the air conditioning and a radio, and when it's raining and you're watching the boys outside, where your wind wiper going?
Probably big kids inside, they like the machinery, you know. It's big machinery, makes a lot of noise, it's fun to operate. They actually get to travel around the country quite a bit, so they stay away, I think it's the variety.
Quite tricky, eh?
Yeah. What's the magic touch?
Oh, it's just being smooth, mate. It's just getting your coordination. Like any PlayStation game, mate, it's just getting your levers right.
Yeah.
Because it is very sensitive.
Now with the logs stacked, the next stage in this mobile production line rolls up.
What is that?
What you're watching here is a 19-inch chipper in action. So it's been labelled the Green Goddess.
Okay.
Tree to chip in about 5 seconds.
Okay.
And it might just be a fairy tale, but Lindsay says he can do 1,000 square metres in a good 10-hour run.
Okay. So that's a lot of wood.
That's a lot of trees.
And another weapon in Treescape's arsenal is the tree spade, a tree transplanter.
So is that tree spade dangerous?
Sure can be, Jack. There could be any number of underground services there. There could be gas, there could be electrical, could even be stormwater.
Oh, so what would happen if we struck a power cable?
A power cable, well, worst case scenario is someone would lose their life. But we negate that by having the operator use the rubber pad that he stands on. He uses the insulated gloves.
Yep.
But I have previously met with the client. We've looked at the maps, and this particular area to dig is safe.
Oh, okay. So it's all safe as and good to go?
Definitely.
Hi, I'm Jack.
Hi Jack, I'm Jo. I'm the Environment Manager for Treescape. We're going to go and have a look at the next step after land clearing.
Okay.
So now Jack has come full circle to look at a new branch of Treescape Services, the Environmental Management Division.
The great part of Treescape now having an environmental management division is that we can return that land that we've cleared where there's an element of native planting. We can do that work from start to finish.
So what's your job like?
Oh, I get told by a lot of people that I get paid to play, so I really enjoy what I do because I get a lot of satisfaction out of where you are at the end, you know. This is one tree that we're going to plant in a series of trees that'll go all the way up this valley to create a bit of a wildlife corridor for birds coming off the island. And in time it'll be a wonderful Pahudakao forest extension.
Sweet.
People work for Treescape because we're definitely the biggest player in the arb game in New Zealand. We provide a pathway for trainees like Jack to start at the bottom, learn the ropes, and he can move through, whether that's council work, residential work, move into the land clearing side of things. We have the ecology division. He could move into management at some stage. I mean, you can move off into the utilities. There's a lot of variety out there.
I really enjoyed working for Treescape. There's so many different jobs in the actual company itself. And I could see you could start at the bottom and work your way up. And then in each of those different jobs, there was a huge variety of work. Like no 2 days were ever the same. And yeah, I'd be keen as to work for Treescape.
To enter a career in the land clearing division of Treescape, you will need at least 5 years' experience in machine operation within different working environments. And forestry training is an advantage. You will also need a heavy trade truck driver's license with the specific endorsements for each piece of machinery you want to drive. Throughout your career, Treescape will pay for all your training. Well, Jack's had a fantastic experience with Treescape, and we've definitely seen a great overview of the kinds of careers that are out there in tree maintenance. A huge thank you to Jack and everyone else who showed him the ropes at Treescape. Now, if you want to find out more about the careers from this week's show and information about all the careers that we feature in this series, you can visit our program website, tvnz.co.nz/justthejob. Good luck. I'll see you next week.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.